The wind hadn't even settled when I carried my children to my parents' door. Our house was gone, splintered wood, shattered glass, the storm swallowing everything we owned. My wife clutched the kids, their faces streaked with dust and fear. I knocked, heart pounding with the naive hope that family meant safety. The door opened. My mother's eyes flicked over us, cold and calculating. "There's no room for you inside," she said. My brother's laugh echoed behind her. His wife sneered, their children peering around with mocking smiles. Homeless, humiliated, betrayed by blood. We turned away. That moment burned into me. It wasn't just rejection, it was erasure. I remembered the years I carried that family, how I worked nights to help pay their debts, how I gave up college so my brother could attend, how I rebuilt their roof after the last storm, hands raw, body breaking, and now? They slammed the door in my face when I had nothing left. It wasn't survival instinct, it was cruelty. I didn't shout, I didn't beg, I just walked away with my family at my side, a vow already forming in the silence of my chest. We found shelter in a church basement that night. The children slept on folded blankets, unaware of the weight pressing on my chest. My wife touched my arm. "They turned us away," she whispered. I didn't answer. Because in that silence, I realized something vital. Family isn't defined by blood. It's defined by loyalty. And loyalty, once broken, demands repayment. The next morning, as I stood outside the ruins of my home, a sleek car pulled up. Black, polished, foreign. A man stepped out in a tailored suit. For a second, I didn't recognize him. Then he knelt before me. I froze. It was Daniel, the boy I once defended in high school when others mocked his torn shoes. The boy who used to follow me home hungry, while my mother hissed that we had no room for strays. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Now he stood before me a millionaire, self-made, powerful, untouchable. And he was on his knees. "Let me help you," he said. I didn't understand at first, but then the pieces clicked. The loyalty I once gave freely, with no thought of return, he hadn't forgotten. He took us in that same day. A rented villa, food stocked to the ceiling, clothes, safety, dignity restored. My children laughed again. My wife's shoulders finally relaxed. And me? I stood in silence, calculating. Because kindness like his only magnified the cruelty of my own blood. I could have let it go, moved on, lived quietly. But betrayal festers if you don't cut it out. So I planned. I gathered everything. Bank records, property deeds, the lies my brother had told to secure loans, the manipulations my parents had pulled to keep him afloat. I built a case brick by brick, while Daniel opened doors I never thought possible. Lawyers, investigators, bankers who owed him favors. It wasn't revenge in the shadows. It was revenge with paperwork, signatures, and legal seals. Silent, final, devastating. The confrontation came 6 months later. The same house, the same door. This time, I didn't knock. I walked in. My parents sat stiff on the couch. My brother paced, already pale from the summons he'd received that morning. Foreclosure notices, debt collections, asset seizures. All the ugly truths they'd buried, now unearthed and staring them down. He spun toward me, eyes wide. "You did this!" I met his gaze, calm. "No, you did this. I just shined a light." My mother tried to plead, spoke of family, of forgiveness, words she'd denied me when I stood outside her door with my children trembling in the cold. "Family?" I asked softly. "Family is what you show when the storm takes everything. Family is shelter. Family is loyalty. You taught me something that night. You're not my family. You're strangers who share my blood." The silence after that was suffocating. I left them there, drowning in the ruin of their own greed. Daniel met me outside. He didn't gloat. He didn't need to. Funny, he said, eyes on the house. 20 years ago, they told me there was no room. Today, you told them the same. I exhaled slowly. No, I didn't tell them there's no room. I showed them the cost of shutting the door. My house is rebuilt now, stronger, larger, standing where the storm once tore it apart. My children play in the yard. My wife plants flowers by the porch. And Daniel, he's not just a friend. He's the brother I chose, the one who never betrayed me. As for the family that turned me away, they're gone from my life, erased as cleanly as the storm erased my home. But unlike the storm, their destruction wasn't an act of nature. It was justice. I learned something in all this. Storms reveal. They strip away roofs, walls, facades. But sometimes, what they really destroy are illusions. The illusion of family, the illusion of loyalty, the illusion that blood means bond. When the tornado came, I lost a house. But when they